everybody, and welcome to the Bob Stoops app. I'm Brad McMullen, along with Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops, and quite a shakeup in the college football playoff as Oklahoma suffered its first loss of the year. Your thoughts on OU losing at Baylor?
Yeah, it was tough. I've been plugging them, and I've been mad the last few weeks. OU wasn't ranked higher than they were in the playoff system, but they showed me, I guess. They had 5 teams with 1 loss ahead of them going into last week, and then OU loses at Baylor. And let's first of all give Baylor credit. They're a really good football team. I said that a week ago. We all said that. We've all seen it. Really solid team, and Coach Dave Aranda's done a great job there with his coaches. So, and OU, I didn't feel overall, again, give Baylor the credit, and on top of it, though, I don't think OU played the way they're capable of. And that's how it results in a loss, a 13-point loss. The bottom line, OU missed some big opportunities with some throws downfield. We had some drops. We had probably 5-6 different drops, a couple of them deep balls, an overthrown ball on a deep ball, a guy wide open. Those are plays we're used to making. We have two interceptions. That's going to beat you. And then in the second half, I think Baylor wore us down to some degree running the football. They were a physical team running the ball. Gary Bohannon, their quarterback, ran the ball well. And Abram, Smith, their running back, same thing. And when you're on the field that long in the second half, little by little, it just kept chipping away. You just keep giving them opportunities. It's bound to cave in on you, and it did at the end. And, so disappointing loss, but there's still a lot to play for.
And it goes back to the basics you talked about before the game. You can't lose the turnover battle. You just can't lose the turnover battle. And then when you have opportunities to score, they missed 2 field goals, which was crucial. And people don't like to talk about this, but there were some pass interference calls that did not go OU's way, if you know what I mean.
So you get some unfortunate breaks. And you're exactly right. A good team away from home, you better be hitting on all cylinders, or 90% of them, and that wasn't the case. I didn't even mention, you said the 2 field goals.
Yeah.
We got one of the best kickers in America. We missed 2, field goals, and, the drops, the penalties, just on and on. That's how you lose, away from home to a good team.
And you say this over and over again, how important field position is. And when you miss field goals and you start giving them the ball at the 50-yard line,
right,
it puts yourself in a bad situation. But
all of it together just added up to what exactly happened.
All right, thoughts at the end of the game when Baylor decided to kick a field goal, putting a lot of controversy on that decision.
Yeah, first of all, poorly managed by everybody, stadium, Big 12, whoever's responsible, officials. And this isn't about Lincoln Riley being mad because he lost. He's mad because you put my players in this position for something really bad to happen. Mm-hmm. You can't do that, as well as himself and his coaches. You got a mob of people coming after him. Now, not only did you put him in that spot once, you put him in it twice to come back and do it again for 1 second or whatever it was left. I'm all, if they wanted to kick the field goal in regular time, where no one's entered the field yet, there's 10 seconds, and you felt that was what you wanted to do, I don't think anybody would said a word about it. But you're going to bring us out of the locker room and the whole people, and there's 5,000 people on the field to clear it off to do that? After I believe they had already taken a knee? Am I right?
Yeah, they took a knee, and the other thing that a lot of people have pointed out is that, right or wrong, if your fans come on the field, it's a penalty.
Exactly.
If there's any time left on the clock at all and the fans come on the field, it's a penalty. So if you're going to go back to the detail of, well, he kneed and then he called a timeout and so we want to put time back on, then it's a 15-yard penalty, and he's not kicking a chip shot field goal.
It was ridiculous, and I don't believe, I'm with Lincoln. I know I would never have done it. Now, someone brought up, well, Lincoln did it a few years ago. Yeah, when there was a minute left on the clock. Sometimes you don't know do I score a touchdown on them or do I kick a field goal? There's still a minute, even 30 seconds, even 20 seconds. I get it. If it's in real time, go ahead and kick it. But not the way this happened. That wasn't right.
All right, speaking of Lincoln Riley, if you've been taking a look at reports, we'll talk about ESPN, Sports Illustrated. There's a lot of talking heads on Facebook and Twitter and also Instagram. linking the coach, Lincoln Riley, to LSU. Your thoughts first on the possibility of Lincoln Riley actually leaving the University of Oklahoma to go to LSU?
Yeah, I don't see that happening. And I think people who put all this out and project it, please, people out there, don't listen to it. It's ridiculous. I tell the story all the time. I woke up at a recruiting trip in San Diego at 5 in the morning. Not that I get up that early, but because of the time change. I'm up at 5 a.m. and I'm showered. I get out of the shower. I turn on the TV, the sports channel. And I just found out, because it's on TV, that I've been in negotiation all night with my agent. And I'm all set to sign the contract this morning with Notre Dame. And I thought to myself, boy, I've had a busy night here sleeping. But everyone assumes it's true because it's said so on TV or because someone's talking about it. It's ridiculous, and you get tired of it as a coach. You just ignore it because that's not what we do. We're in the office working. Lincoln's working what he always does. Team's doing what they always do, and people just talk and make things up, and that's just how it is. And the preposterous part of it is, I heard he went there to interview.
Oh,
do you think Lincoln Riley's interviewing for any job?
No,
promise you, he's not.
No,
and. Once I won the national championship 2000, I've been offered jobs, never to interview.
Yeah, no.
I've been offered
Hey, Bob,
jobs.
we want to talk to you about a job opening.
Or interview you. No, and to be truth be told, Lincoln Riley at some point, if he ever going to be an NFL coach, he won't be interviewed either. Nope. It'll be offered to him.
Yep.
You get to his point, you're not interviewing. You're either accepting a contract or you're not. And I promise you, he wasn't in Baton Rouge, and there was no talk about accepting a job.
Yeah, it's absolutely surprising to me, where I call it well-established news sources are reporting absolute garbage. It's really frustrating.
Why wouldn't they? If they throw something against the wall, and maybe it'll stick. And if not, what are the repercussions? There aren't any, right?
Good point.
They don't have any repercussions. They just go on to the next story. Everybody forgets in a few days. But again, not accurate.
Yeah, and the other thing you've got to always keep in mind, who's spreading this? And you also have to look at the basics of, you've got recruiting going on, right? You have an early signing time period. OU's got all this momentum into the top 5 in the country in recruiting, and could end up with the #1 recruiting class in the country if a couple of recruits go their way.
My guess who's spreading it is Texas and Texas A&M. Just kidding.
You gotta love that stuff. All right, so big game for Oklahoma coming up this weekend against Iowa State. Surprisingly, both Iowa State and Oklahoma lost last week, but this is still a huge game. This is the 2 favorites entering the season, and they're playing with a lot at stake this weekend.
Absolutely. Conference championship, first and foremost, where you begin every year, what you're really shooting for, one of your first goals. So this is big, big for both teams. Iowa State has beaten OU in the last few years a couple of times. So they're a tough football team. They got 20 of 22 starters back from a year ago, so a quality team, which everybody knows. And OU, we've got to play up to our standards if we're going to have a chance to win. Taking care of the football, get back to running the football. Iowa State's a team defensively that makes you be patient because they sit back in those soft coverages. And be patient to take a 8-yard gain, a 10-yard gain, rather than, getting that 50-yarder downfield. Be patient, take care of the football, run and pass. And defensively, we really got to be able to contain Breece Hall. Mm-hmm. Everything runs through him with that offense. And, second leading rusher in the league. And after giving up the yards we did rushing to Abram Smith last week, containing Breece Hall will be a big key to this game.
And they're going to have to bring their A game in this game if they're
Absolutely.
going to have any chance of winning. Emotional game, obviously. It's senior day, coming off of a loss. What are the keys for Oklahoma besides the basic one of not turning over the football?
Yeah, again, just prepared to play our best. They'll be invested. We've lost the games here or there, but we've always come back strong and continue to fight. This team has a lot of pride, I'm sure, like all our teams have. So we've got to be on top of our game, running the ball. Again, be patient to take the intermediate short routes when they're there, because they'll be there. And defensively, contain and control Breece Hall. That's the huge key to the game, and not give up, anything big.
All right, the new college football playoff poll came out. Oklahoma surprisingly went from 8 to 13. I thought with a loss, that would have pushed us in the top 5 because, you have one loss.
Usually you lose, you move up.
You move up in the polls, but not the case. Let's talk about the Big 12. They're really on the outside looking in. What does a Big 12 team, whether that's Oklahoma State or Oklahoma, have to do to get in the college football playoff discussion again?
Listen, there's these next 2 weeks plus championship weekend, a lot is going to happen. Everyone but Georgia has shown weaknesses and ability to be beat. And it's going to happen. When it can happen. SMU, they can beat Cincinnati this weekend.
Yeah.
Very well could. I'm wishing Tanner Mordecai, one of our old buddy here, one of the ex-Sooners, and Grant Calcaterra, I'm wishing them big luck. They can get it done. So a lot can happen. I believe there's a real positive chance Oklahoma State or Oklahoma, if either of them can finish out, win them all, they'll have a real chance to be in.
All right. Well, again, if you want a chance to have lunch with this guy, don't forget to register here inside the Bob Stoops app. And remember, for videos anytime, 24/7, just tap on our video link. Hall of Fame football coach Bob Stoops, I'm Brad McMullen.